Hello everyone, I'm Ben Coleman, your anchor host for the Florida Aviation Network, coming to you live and in the clear, Central Florida Aerospace Academies, where we are. CFAA is the acronym, and Sun and Fun number 51. Turn up the fun in 51 is the motto. I think that's what it is. To my immediate left, your right, Laura Bradner.
Hey, how are you doing, Ben? Good to be back.
Dr. Bradner, we have turned up the fun in 51, have we not?
Ben, I will tell you, they have had record-breaking crowds, and I have never been coming since 2009 when I moved here to come to Florida. Ben, I have never seen so many people at the night air show. It was phenomenal, and it was packed. So, Ben, I tell you what, Sun and Fun delivered. They were turning up the fun.
Laurie, do you know why so many people come to Sun and Fun? This is a rhetorical question. I'm going to answer it for you, but I'm asking
go
you
ahead,
anyway.
Ben. We'll just skip that. We'll just skip that. Go right ahead.
Ask me the question. Why do
why do so many people come to Sun and Fun?
Well, Laurie, I'm glad you asked. One of the reasons is because of all the affiliates that help us at the Florida Aviation Network here, and we would like to thank those affiliates now. Bill Stool and Joel Wiener out of Jacksonville with the Civil Air Patrol. Terry Kurtz out of South Lakeland Airport, here used to be Circle X. And she's in the studio helping us administratively today. Thank you, Terry. Glenn Sims of Lakeland with the Civil Air Patrol. Paul Adrian, John Weber, Leesburg, Chapter 534. And Barbara Phillips, actually it's Barbara Walters Phillips, but Barbara, we'll call you anything because you're so active in the education role. But Barbara is in Orlando with the EAA Chapter 74, and our corporate attorney, Pat Phillips, her husband. And Randy Burke in Orlando, the new Fast Team program manager there. Well, you can't replace Bob Jex, but he is standing in for Bob Jex. And Bob's going to be helping us here at Florida Aviation Network as a host. And Vicki Sherman at Ormond Beach, and she has a beautiful pilot shop out of Ormond. And Vicki's here helping us behind the scenes. So many volunteers, and it's all, oh my goodness. Keith Phillips, Spruce Creek, EAA Chapter 288. We have Joe Schmalls out of Titusville with EAA Chapter 866. And Brenna Wright at Sanford, out of Sanford with the Naval Air Station Sanford Information Headquarters. And I always give her a plug. Her last name is Wright with a W. Anybody else in aviation have, Laurie, the last name Wright with a W?
Gosh, Ben, struggling, don't know.
She is a.
Maybe the Wright brothers?
She's a descendant of the Wright brothers. And Laurie, who else do we think?
Well, we've got Bill McClung in Tampa with NASF, and of course, Fan, he's one of the pillars here. Thank you, Bill. Michael Menner in Tampa with the Tampa FISDO. Dennis Hayes in Fort Myers with the EAA, of course, which absolutely huge supporter. Billy Hadaway in Birmingham from the Birmingham FISDO. Sam Gross with the Tampa Fast Team. Barry Simmons in Inverness with the EAA Chapter 1674. Tommy Diedemann in Live Oak with EAA Chapter 797. John Liccardi and Michael Ketchpaw in Fort Pierce. They're with the EAA Chapter 908. Rob Williams, big shout out to Rob in South Carolina with the Triple Tree Aerodrome. Laura Spoler in Orlando, Florida. She is actually with the Florida with the Women in Aviation. We've got Jim Waymeyer and Cress Wise in the Villages with the Villages Aviation Club. And Willis Reese in St. Petersburg with the Civil Air Patrol, which of course is near and dear to my heart as well.
Thanks to all those folks. And we also want to thank John Typen out of St. Louis for helping us turn this signal and for the network. And Aeronautical Proficiency Training in the Wings Industry Network. There's a lot of activity in the background, and speaking of activity, once we finish our, we're going to go at 9 o'clock to Sun and Fun Live TV, and that's where Amanda Holling is there with helping Channel 8, I think she's out of
Yes,
Tampa.
that's correct.
And we would not be able to do this without that assistance of our affiliates, our sponsorship, and our people in the background. And Laurie, I want to take this time to acknowledge that we are conjugating hosts.
We are.
Did you hear that word I used? Don't you like that?
That's a big word, Ben.
Conjugating. We're looking for hosts because if you haven't noticed, I'm getting long a tooth. My earlobes are growing. Hair's falling out. Hair's growing in places it never used to grow before, but not where I
Much
need it.
information, Ben.
So, Laurie, we're looking for youth and in the industry in general, but don't forget us old timers because been
and
around
you know
the
what,
block.
Ben? We have with the Florida Aviation Network, thanks to Tweet Coleman, Dr. Coleman, who is actually, she's also one of our hosts here at the Florida Aviation Network. Her generosity, her philanthropy has started the Tweet Coleman Scholarship. And so those, as you said, Ben, we're looking to bring in a new pipeline, bring new people in. They have an opportunity with the Tweet Coleman Scholarship that will open on August 15th. Then it closes. They've got 1 month. And that's the way, Ben, it's an opportunity not only to earn a little bit of money for high school students and even college students, but it's a way that they can actually come in and see what we do. Not only what we do theoretically, as far as promoting aviation and aviation safety, but what we do technically. So they get a chance as an intern to experience all of the jobs from behind the desk, behind the cameras, to those that actually been, you know, we're looking for our replacements that actually want to replace us here behind the desk. So I would go ahead and for all of our viewers, again, a huge thank you to Dr. Coleman for her generosity and her passion, not only for aviation, but for education, because that's one of the pillars, just like Sun and Fun. Education is key here, and it's key for what we do at the Florida Aviation Network, where we're educating not only the young pilots, but we're also wanting to we want to create lifelong learners. Pilots need to be lifelong learners. And so please check out our website, check out those that are interested, the Tweet Coleman Scholarship. We've had 5 interns this year, and Ben, some of them behind the cameras now. One of them was on camera with me yesterday. Ben, we couldn't do it without them. They're awesome. They're magnificent.
They are, and that's, I tell you, I have to say this because my name is Coleman, and Tweet and I are somewhere down the road.
Are you related?
We think so.
Okay.
We don't know exactly where, but the tree split somewhere. But Tweet is a remarkable person.
Yeah, she is.
And Coleman is kind of getting to be like the word Smith. The name Smith. There's so many Colemans around the place.
I wouldn't know. I've yet to meet another Bradner, so I wouldn't know.
But Laurie, we bat this around quite a bit as far as us aging, and but it's a fact of life.
Yep.
And it is a matter of fact that we want to give back and share. And it's also, we're going to task our young folks to let us know what you want and need, because we can get you in the door, we can hook you, but now industry has a responsibility to give you a place to harvest yourself. And it's not all about money. I mean, as I'm going to mention something, Laurie, that the H word that I seldom, if ever, you'll hear me say that I hate something.
Should I hold on, Ben? You always worry me, Ben, when you're on this hook or harness in here, Ben. I'm waiting. Go ahead.
It is such a it's a horrible word. So I use the phrase I dislike greatly, rather than H.
Okay.
But the money, and it's something that we can't do without, but it's not what drives us if you really enjoy what you do.
Right.
And it's a wise person that says that if you enjoy and truly love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
That's true.
You just have to figure out a way to make ends meet,
Right.
and fill your needs of you and your family. But it's such a wonderful industry because there's so many different areas you can get into, and I encourage folks to get into something that I'm starting to break into right now, education. And Larry Enlow, great friend of mine. We lost Larry a few years ago in an occurrence. Actually, it's a damn bad accident, but Larry wanted me to get my CFI. And I am going to get my certified flight instructor certificate in one way, shape, manner, or form. But I want to give back. And sometimes I speak too much. Just ask my wife, Melody. But I also want to listen and hear what the young folks, younger pilot, anybody under 50 is young to me right now. So ask me a question, and if I can, I will come up with a good logical answer for you. But I'm not going to talk so much. I'm going to listen more to you. Lori.
Well, one thing I would say, Ben, is I love that because one of the focuses of Sun and Fun, and we're going to get back, let's bring it back to Sun and Fun 51, where we're turning up the fun. And for those that may not have been here or have not had an opportunity, they've got one more day, and that's today, Ben. And as you're talking about that education and those opportunities to explore aviation and not everybody thinks aviation and they think flying, and there's so much more to it. And we want to encourage those that might have even an interest or an inkling to please come see us today at Sun and Fun. I promise you, Gene Conrad and his team, they have turned up the fun, and this is the place to be. Fantastic weather. Come experience and see everything in the world of aviation and everything that it has to offer. I promise, from ages 2 to 92, there is something here for everyone. And we want to see you here today. We're on the grounds at Lakeland Linder Airport. Don't miss the air show. I know today is going to be the last flight of the Blue Angels. And if you've not seen them, well, I know you've heard them. If you haven't seen them, I know you've heard them. Please come see them, because it's absolutely just, it's a spectacular day, spectacular weather. Come see us today. And like you said, Ben, just experience. Just dip your toe in the water, see what it's all about. There's nothing more. I think we had Adriana, one of our guests, that actually has created flyorca.com, and that's an app that pilots can use, even new pilots. And it's all about that education, getting people involved. And she mentioned it's a family. And Bella, one of our interns, said she loves it here. She loves it at the Florida Aviation Network. She loves Sun and Fun. She loves aviation. She's at FIT, which of course is the MIT of the South. We know that. But guess what, Ben? It's all about family. And I've found that too in aviation, and it doesn't matter if you fly or not. And so we just want to encourage everybody to come see us at Sun and Fun today. We are closing out the show. We've got some great shows today. We're going to have Piedmont. I believe that we're going to have the chairman of the board is going to be here. And Ben, you get to close out the day today talking to the main man himself. Gene Conrad's going to be with us. So you definitely don't want to miss that, because I can't wait to hear what Gene has to say. Ben, they have turned up the fun.
In 51.
In 51.
But we're going to be looking for you in 52.
Ben, look at what Ben just, you're awesome.
That's swift, wasn't it?
I love that. We're
Swift.
looking for you in 52. Don't miss it. Ben, you've got to feed that to, you got to give that to Gene.
Yeah.
He's going to use that, you know.
I'm hoping.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
hoping.
I love it.
And I always get in a little bit of trouble with Gene, because Gene really loves to be put on the spot and ask questions that he has no clue what the answer is. I might do that just once today, because last time I did it, he threatened to take me out and throttle me. But we're going to have some fun with it, and that's the whole thing, Laurie. This is a brother and sisterhood of. Once you get into this industry, people will bend over backward, and I encourage. Mel and I were out the other day, and we saw an old timer. He was having a hard time getting around, and we offered him, and it's always ma'am and sir. Show respect to your old elders, okay? And he was having trouble finding, he was a passenger in an airplane. It flew in for the day. He forgot where the airplane was parked. And we helped him as best. 2 hours. But we dedicate, once you start down that road, don't just ditch them, don't drop them. But we helped Joe find his airplane and his
You didn't
crew,
just
his
drop
pilot.
him at the edge of GA parking and go somewhere out there.
No. Once you start, you can't drop them.
Yeah.
And just show respect, and it's sincere respect. And Joe, I'm waiting to hear back from you to make sure you made it back to St. Simon's Island with your crew.
Nice.
Piedmont.
Yes.
I'm anxious. You're going to be talking with Tyler.
I am. I'm anxious to talk with Tyler. Yeah, I've got to ask him. Ben, I'm going to tell Tyler I'm going to tell him that you're growing your hair out.
I am.
So it can look like his. Yeah. gonna tell him
I'm
that.
working on my mohawk.
I
am. See? Okay. Got it?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I see a hair or two. Yeah, okay, good.
We're just not right. You know that? But
And that's why they're looking for new hosts.
with Tyler, you need to bring him out of his shell a little bit. He's so reserved and meek.
I didn't get that from him yesterday, Ben.
But
I think I'm going to have to step up my game.
we are going to, and by the way, there's been a lot of FAA activity as far as wings credit for our shows, and the FAA has realized that what we do here has worth, it has merit. And we try to drive folks to compel them, to educate them. They'll learn something. And that's why the wings credit is so important in this industry, and it's about proficiency.
Yeah.
And we talk about the
And
aeronautical
safety.
proficiency and
Don't
training.
forget safety. Safety first.
That's what we're all about. And again, I mentioned yesterday that when we have an occurrence or if you come close to getting killed, you find religion really, really quick. And we don't have to wait until that happens. Right. And the term safe. I put you on the spot the other day of what
Free
the
from
definition.
harm, Ben. I remember free from harm, Ben.
Got it.
Oh, did you see me? I'm on it.
And are we ever really?
No.
Okay, that's good
Did you see
answer.
me? Okay, good.
Good
There we
answer.
go.
Good answer.
Okay. I'm
However,
a quick study, Ben. Sharp as a tack.
but we can
all the time.
But we can mitigate. She cracks me up. But we can mitigate the opportunity for us to be hurt,
Right.
either driving a car, riding a bicycle. The other day we were riding around, and the hoverboards, the little hoverboards,
Yeah.
the electric. Man, those things zip around. They're
Oh,
very
yeah.
quick. But there was a mature woman on the hoverboard, no protective equipment, nothing. And I'm not a big helmet wearer, but something like that, I could just see her coming off of that and taking a tumble.
Yeah.
She wouldn't look the same. I mean, road rash, and so let's be mindful of what we're doing. And if you see somebody doing something that is dangerous, casually bring it to their attention. Don't yell at them. Well, unless they're about to get clobbered, then you get their attention. But it's such a fun industry, and it has so much to offer.
Yeah.
And it's also a dangerous industry. Just like any other thing, it can hurt you. And that's,
where
the
the
safety.
education piece, Ben, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No.
that's where that education piece and making sure that we're creating lifelong learners. Whether you're in the airport management, whether you're if you're into flying, whether you're into the mechanics, that's where that lifelong education comes in. And this is why I absolutely love Sun and Fun for that. So once again, a shout out, come see us. This is the last day. Sun and Fun 51, we're turning up the fun, and we're going to be looking for you in 52.
Last day of 51, but we're already planning on 53 and 54 and 55. We're going to be here. We have to remember that all of these presentations that we have here, the shows we call them, give it about a week or two and go on YouTube and just do a search on YouTube, YouTube channel, Florida Aviation Network, and it's there. And there's a myriad of information. Oh, I used another big word.
Oh,
a
you
myriad
did.
of information that you'll.
Ben,
Yeah.
you're on fire. You're on fire today, Ben.
I'm just a cornucopia of information.
That's another big word,
See,
Ben.
I hit it. I hit it again. I just heard the voice of God reminded me that it is a plethora of information that we provide to you here on the Florida Aviation Network. But it is all about safety. We like to have fun.
Right.
We smile, we laugh, we joke.
Right.
But the subliminal, the foundation
Right.
is we want to keep you safe out there.
Exactly.
And again, we start with the FAA,
Yep.
and FAA Production Studios has morphed into the National Aviation Safety Foundation, a project. This Florida Aviation Network is a project of the National Aviation Safety Foundation, and we have to sometimes just step back, and we get so enthralled with what's going on. And the bottom line, it's you. That's what we're here for. It's about you. Laurie, will you mind Would you close us out in a few minutes? And we're going to kind of switch up, and the guys back behind the control. We've got 1 minute to go, but who's counting? And we're going to remind the folks to stay tuned for the 9 o'clock turn.
Sun and Fun Live.
And then we'll be back here at 9:30.
And we're going to be back at 9:30 with Tyler from Piedmont. And I'm looking
Take it away,
forward
Lori.
to it. And so once again, everyone, we just want to welcome you to Sun and Fun as we explore and we experience the last day of Sun and Fun 51, where Gene Conrad and his team are absolutely turning up the fun. I'm Lori Bradner. That was our anchor host, Ben Coleman. We're with the Florida Aviation Network, where we are broadcasting live and in the clear from the Central Florida Aerospace Academy. And don't forget, we're going to see you today for Sun and Fun 51. We're going to turn up the fun, but we want to see you in 52.